Godzilla.
Well, friends, it is time to answer the age-old question, who would win a fight between a giant ape and a building-sized lizard? We're breaking down everything we know about Godzilla vs. Kong right now on The Ketchup. On March 31st, Godzilla vs. Kong will hit theaters and HBO Max simultaneously, and we are here for it. The fourth film in Legendary's Monsterverse, GVK as I'm calling it, is a sequel to 2014's Godzilla, as well as Godzilla King of the Monsters and Kong Skull Island. It also marks the first time these two larger-than-life leviathans have shared a screen since 1962's King Kong vs. Godzilla. Legendary has armed Blair Witch director Adam Wingard with a reported $200 million budget, and after seeing the trailer, we think he put it to good use. Godzilla vs. Kong looks like both an epic brawl that'll have audiences cheering for the giant lizard and ape, and a nail-biting disaster film for the humans unlucky enough to be sitting ringside to the fight, which this time around includes Alexander Skarsgård, Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, and returning cast members Millie Bobby Brown and Kyle Chandler. The only question now is, who do you have your money on?
Kong bows to no one.
Updating the franchise for a new generation of superfans, Legendary's kaiju are now called Titans. The Godzilla legacy, meanwhile, sheds its original thesis warning about nuclear capabilities during war for a more relevant message about global warming and eco-terrorism. See, in this version of Godzilla, the radiation emitted by the Titans is actually healing the planet, and Godzilla, while not exactly a pro-humanist, is definitely working to restore balance in the ecosystem. Also, there are aliens, as introduced by the three-headed space dragon Ghidorah in King of the Monsters. Does that explain the tiny spaceship next to Kong's inverted head in the new trailer, or explain where he got his new weapon? Only time will tell, but speaking of Kong,
Is that a monkey?
we actually don't know that much about what Kong has been up to since we last saw him in the 1970s in the events of Kong Skull Island. I guess he's just hanging out, making friends with small orphan girls, and chillaxing, if people still use that word, but you know, giant gorilla stuff. We do know that Monarch, the government agency working to understand the Titans in Godzilla King of the Monsters, was already a shadowy government organization decades prior and actively searching for Kong. We also know from the cave painting seen in the closing credits of the film that Kong has tangled with kaiju before, including Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and yes, Godzilla himself. Most importantly though, we can see that Kong had a bit of a growth spurt since the last time we saw him, going from roughly 100 feet tall to somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 feet in this film. Supposedly, that is because Kong was just an adolescent the last time we saw him, and I mean, come on, they gotta make it a fair fight.
Let me list all the ways you're gonna die.
So, who will win in a fight between these two mega predators? Well, the last time these two met in 1962's King Kong vs. Godzilla, it looks like Godzilla had the upper hand. I mean, after all, he is the king of the monsters. King Kong, on the other hand, is just a very large gorilla who gets sleepy if he eats too many red berries. I know the feeling. After Kong floats to the top of Mount Fuji on a bunch of balloons, yep, you heard that right, he is struck by lightning, develops his own superpowers, and pummels the amphibious lizard back into the ocean only to resurface alone. So Kong wins and it's the end. Or is it? Hint, it is definitely not the end. So does that mean we can expect to see the King of Monsters bow down to the King of Kongs yet again? It's impossible to guess. Our guess is actually that the true villains are probably not either monster, since they both have vested interests in protecting at least some of humanity, not to mention future franchise installments.
Who bows to who? Nobody gonna stop me.
But friends, it is time for us to kick it over to you now. What are your theories around Godzilla vs. Kong? Let us know in the comment section. Also, let us know who you think is gonna win this epic brawl. And of course, if you want more movie and streaming news, head on over to RottenTomatoes.com. Also, be sure to check out our show Versus for an even more in-depth breakdown of Godzilla and Kong, duking it out on screen. And if you don't want to miss out on any future episodes of this show, be sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell. And as always, we can't thank you enough for watching The Ketchup. My name is Naz Perez, and we'll see you next time. Bye.